Kia ora, guys. Reader the Kiwi here, and we're back in with some more Final Fantasy XIV, and we're continuing where we left off with the Dark Knight job class quests. So we're above 70 now, so we should be able to do all of Stormblood's Dark Knight story in one go, which I'm planning to do. And where we left off originally in the original storyline, we got our crystal from what appeared to be a corpse, and then the person ended up appearing to be alive, but in fact it was the words escaped me. It was a Fight Club scenario where like they were just in our head and we were just talking to a dead person the whole time, and then that dead person ended up being a mirror of ourselves, and we had to fight ourselves, which was really cool and badass. And then following that, we find out that Frey, the person that was in our head that we originally got the crystal from, was working with Zedugu, however you say his name, I'm still not too sure. And they were protecting Riley, who was the daughter of a high priestess, but her father was a heretic, and her mother was wanting to kill her essentially, and we ended up killing her mother and stuff, and now everything seems to be okay and happy. We also learned from the Muggles that that the true source of Dark Knight power is actually love and not brooding in darkness, and that is the true source of power or something. Yeah, but we'll see what's in store for us. In memories we walk, looking grim and dark as it. Ah, Teru. What was the voice I did for him? Teru. Follow. I really can't remember actually. Follow master of the dark arts. And yet, is but one of many faces you wear. And yet, that is but one of many faces. Slayer of gods, rider of dragons, savior of Ishgard, a hero by any measure who stood against Nidhogg on the steps of faith when others fled. A hero who walks in light and fights for great causes, and a knight who walks in darkness and fights for the forgotten. A contradiction, some might say. Rubbish, I say. But you tell me, do you yet walk the path? As the innocent suffer, I will not forsake the abyss. If I must forsake the abyss to serve the light, then so be it. As long as... I thought not. Then let us speak as comrades. Ishgard has seen much change in recent days, and many proclaim it to be the dawning of a new era of peace and prosperity, an enlightened age. Yet, as we both know, the brighter the light, the deeper the shadows. As Dark Knights, we must remain vigilant for injustice and be ever ready to defend the weak and downtrodden. Now more than ever. It has been a while since we patrolled the streets of our fair city, felt the cobbles beneath our boots, and so forth. A tour from the top might be in order. Why don't we start at the last vigil? Alright. Let's go, I suppose. Bom, bom, bom. Bom, bom. Dun, 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 dun. As you look on Vortemp's manor, you but reflect upon your time in Ishgard, the comrades with whom you travelled, and those you lost along the way. You seem distracted. Ah, right. You were a ward of House Vortemps. Once upon a time. No, I suppose not. Damnedest thing. But I swear I heard something in your back break, and in your pack break. My soul gem, no! Bloody hells, is that your soul crystal? What happened to the other half? Forgive me, it seems I am the one responsible. I do not know you, boy. Name yourself. Misty, my lord. I'm no lord, and you're no Misty. Don't think I wouldn't know a bastard of the broom by sight. I have a power which I can use to help those in need. Alas, this power requires a tremendous quantity of ether. I thought to draw on natural sources nearby, but in doing so, I stole a portion of that contained within your crystal. Forgive me, please forgive me. I will return it to you, I promise, but I must first ask that you allow me to use a portion. Misty, was it? Who do you want to help? Anyone. Everyone. Look around you. Is not this world filled with sadness and despair? If I can free but a single person from their burdens. He means well enough. Why don't we help him find someone in need and give him a chance to use his power? Oh, bloody brilliant. Let's believe the mysterious boy with the mysterious power who mysteriously stole a portion of Teru's soul crystal. What could possibly go wrong? Well, it's your crystal, Teru. Either we deal with the boy here and now, or we go along with his plan. And since you're not reaching for your sword, I gather it's the latter. Congratulations, boy. You get your wish. We're not like to find any poor, unfortunate souls here, so I suggest we head to the Foundation. And if we find no one suitable there, will you return what you stole at once? You will return what you stole at once. Understood? Yes, my lord. Thank you for placing your trust in me. Person's probably also doing level 72. Coincidence? Or did they do the same sort of plan I did? Bam, bom, 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 bom. You have my assurances that the remaining funds will be delivered soon. Surely that is enough to convince you to resume work. I've got a score of clients clamoring me for services. Clients that are willing to pay in full in advance. I'd be a fool to put you ahead of them. I understand that. I do. But it has been an eternity since we first brokered this arrangement. And many of the clients of whom you speak have come to you but recently. I know this to be true. It's one thing to aid this socialite, madam, but you've got to understand me position here. Bloody politics it is. No man lifts a chisel till we're paid in full. I'm sorry, but that's the way it's got to be. A blessed evening to you. Oh, I beg your pardon. I did not notice you standing there. As you may have overheard, I am funding the restoration of the statue of Saint Valorant. And as you may have guessed, it has not been going well, on account of my insufficient funds and my family's growing infamy. My cousin was Sir Ignace de Benedict of the Heavens Ward. He served the Archbishop faithfully, together with his sworn brothers, great goodly men who were complicit in terrible crimes, if Sir Amaric and this warrior of light are to be believed. Ignacy was distraught when he learned the statue had been destroyed by the Dravanians. He took it upon himself to champion its restoration, but because of these tales, others are reluctant to involve themselves. I do not know nor care if Sir Amaric speaks the truth. Ignacy was my cousin and a man of the Fury, and I will honor him by completing his legacy. Or so I once believed. Perhaps it is indeed beyond me. Interesting. We found someone, didn't we? I knew it. I knew we would. I can help her. Yes, yes, I will make it right. I have the power. Come, let us not keep this poor woman waiting. Is this child a friend of yours? The way he stares at me is somewhat... Do you wish to see your cousin again? Well, yes, I would love to see Ignace again. More than anything. But I know I will not. He walks in Helen's halls, I am certain. Think of him. Think of his face. Of his smile. Of his laugh. Remember every moment you shared. Every memory. And hold that image of him in your mind's eye. And then go to a quiet place you shared where no one will come. Wait for me there. I really don't understand what this is all about, but since you seem so earnest, I will trust in you and do as you ask. There's a garden to the south of the tribunal, of which we were both fond. I pray you will explain all to me when this is finished. go with her. I shall go to Sidigu and Raleigh and bring them with me. Then you will all understand what I can do and why you must help. That's a promise. Back to the last vigil. If that guy is still there, another Dark Knight. Doesn't look like it. Maybe I'm wrong. They just happen to move at that exact time. Boom, boom, boom. Ah, your friend has arrived. He has brought companions, I see. No, no, it cannot be. Ignacy, is it really you? Oh, praise Halon, you're alive, you're alive. My dear cousin, how it warms my heart to see you in good health. I pray you will forgive me for my lengthy absence. Don't be foolish. There is only joy to see you return. Come, we must go to your father and mother at once. How they will weep at the sight of you. I cannot. Better for them to mourn me as a son who gave his life in service to his archbishop and his home. I have heard that you yet labor to see the statue of Saint Valorant restored. Know that I am grateful beyond measure. I am undeserving of your praise, cousin. For all my efforts, the statue remains a shattered ruin. But seeing you here, so full of life, a light in life, fills me with renewed conviction. I will see it through, I swear to you. And if you have indeed done the things they say, then perhaps it will earn you a measure of forgiveness. I love you, cousin. Now and ever after, look after my parents and yourself. I don't know how you did it, but thank you for bringing him back to me. But you must know he is not safe here. I pray you help him flee the city. She's right. Ishgard is no place for a man of the Heavens Ward. We will sneak him out of the city. The fewer the better. Meet us at Falcon's Nest after. We have much to discuss. It's not really him. He's dead. It's an illusion of sorts. This is probably how they explain the ghost dance that we create. Dark Knight that we get. For fear of being seen by the sentries, I bade the others to go on ahead. We should hurry. The further they take Ignacy from Millie, the weaker he will become, and I pray we are not too late. I mean, pray we are not too late. Whirling abyss. Forgive me, forgive me. I should have known the magic would not sustain itself much longer. That which you see before is Ignacy. What remains of him? I can give the memories form. I can breathe them full of life and return them to their loved ones. But as the memory fades, so does the magic. Aether, formless and free, that which I took I used to make Nasse and Millie whole. Draw your sword and reclaim which was lost. Consume the abyss with Soul Eater. It is finished. Good. I've had enough of this farce. Conjuring a simulacrum of a bloody night of the Heavens Ward in the middle of Ishgard. Barry, take me, you're a fool. We're lucky to be alive. Your soul crystal is restored then? Or not. We had an arrangement, boy. You will return that which you stole. Forgive me, forgive me. I return to you that which was used to give Ignace life, but as for the remainder, 4 more times. It is within my power to do this 4 more times. 4 more times, and you shall be made whole. You have my word. For a boy with such an incredible power, you are remarkably helpless. Not only did you rob Terra of her aether, you imposed upon her to find your people in need. You want to do good? You want to be a hero? You want to help people? Then why aren't you better prepared? Why weren't you better prepared? I will never be a hero. I only wanted to help. It is not death itself we fear, but the unfinished story, the promise of what could have been. It is enough to break a heart and a woman. The shattered pieces of a life that will never come together again. But if a glimpse of their loved ones grants them the peace they deserve, then I must. It is your decision, Teru. You are the victim. Perhaps some good may come up. Thank you. Together we will make them whole. We're not going anywhere, Mist. Even Sid. He may look and act like a chocobo's ass, but he means well. Fine. I'm only trying to put the fear of the gods into that little shite. But by all means, go ahead and undermine my authority. Anyway, I'd rather not freeze to death out here in the snow. Let's return to Falcon's Nest and discuss what to do next. Okay. So that's the opening quest. So it seems we're going to be going around helping people, conjuring fake people. Just what I needed. Another child to look after. Am I a Dark Knight or a nursemaid? Even I don't know anymore. But times, they are ever changing, and perhaps we Dark Knights must change with them. Long-held truths are become lies, and villains heroes. Though I should be glad if I never have to deal with another hero again. No offense, of course. I like I did the cross-arm thing. But you are the exception that proves the rule. The righteouses are all too uncompromising, and woe betide the man who offends their delicate sensibilities. If anything, I say... if anything, I say you are too accommodating. But is your aether and your soul crystal at stake? 4 times he swears, but we shall hold him to it together. In the meantime, you may as well get some rest or attend to other matters. These two can keep themselves company. Maybe I'll find somewhere to take a nap or a tavern to have a drink. Next quest will be right now. Oh, thank the gods, an adult. Riley has been spending a lot of time with Misty, keeping him company and getting to know him and so forth. Not that there's much to know. He won't talk about his home or his past. Doesn't even have any interests or skills beyond conjuring elaborate illusions deprived from memories. I've no idea how he does it either. And more importantly, I'm not even sure how we could take back the aether he stole. You may have no choice but to agree to his terms, unless you're content to carry half a soul crystal. I can hear you whispering, you know. Misty means well, and Teru and I are willing to help him. Why aren't you? I didn't say I wasn't willing. I'm still here, aren't I? Right then. We've found no one suitable for the boy's needs here. Rather than return to Ishgard, I say we try somewhere new. Let's head to Tailfeather. Boom, 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 boom. All right. Did I just canceled my teleportation. What am I doing? Life here is not easy, but it is fulfilling all the same. That said, the hunters had no personal tales of profound tragedy to share. They did, however, tell me of an outsider recently brought here from Falcon's Nest, a prisoner actually, a woman named Laudi. She's to atone for her crimes through hard labor, but the proctor has been zealous. He berates her constantly, and every day she bears fresh bruises. God damn it. It's guardian justice. I know it well. If this woman is performing various chores for the hunters, then it should not be hard to find her. Come, let us look around. Alright. Destination. Oh. Looking at all these chains. This is the place, isn't it? Insolent child! You are not to speak unless spoken to, is that clear? I thought I recognized the name. It's this chick, isn't it? The chick that got shot with the arrow that poisoned us. Is it the same chick? It's hard to tell with a lot of the player models. A lot of the NPC models. Only just so many models they can do, but it has like the same hairstyle. But yes, my lord, pray forgive me for my impudence. Do not play me for a fool. Your sins are beyond forgiveness. Sir Amaric and his noble brethren may think you worthy of mercy, but I have seen your kind before. A swift death is more than you deserve. A swift death is more than that bastard deserves. I can't imagine what she did to deserve that kind of treatment. You know her, Teru? Yep. Seven Howls! She's the one that led the protest at Falcon's Nest? And the one that nearly put an end to the peace conference? And she poisoned you? Wow. That explains a lot. Though if you of all people can find it in your heart to forgive her, or at least forsake bloody revenge, then it's hard to look at this and call it justice. Her crimes were born of desperation and despair for the husband she lost. Perhaps if the two of them were to meet again. Don't be foolish. She knows he's dead. You'll only cause her pain. Pain is all that is left for her, don't you see? How they cry in the dark, how they mourn their dead, how it festers and spreads and corrupts them thoroughly. We have seen it. We have made it. Fine, fine. Do what you will. Conjure her husband. But do not come crying to me when she curses you for your kindness. I'll not give the hunters cause to turn their bows on us either. Rally, take Mist into the woods and hide. Teru and I will free the girl. Rather, I will free the girl. She would know you at once, and might misunderstand your intentions. We cannot risk the commotion. As for your part, no one is truly outside Halon's grace, don't you think? Confront the proctor. Make him see the error of his ways. If he is a good man, then he may yet repent of his wicked ways. If he refuses, then that is his choice to make, and we will have to accept the consequences of his actions. Doubly so if he bears steel, yes? Bah! Bah! The very sight of you fills me with murderous rage. See to your duties. I must need cleanse myself of these impure thoughts through communion with nature. Perhaps a spot of fishing is in order. Now's our chance. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Fishing? You don't even have a rod. You just have staff. Who are you? Why do you disturb me? A concerned adventurer who objects to my treatment of a criminal? Ha! If only you knew her sins. She should have been thrown into witch drop. Alas, the Lord Speaker in his boundless wisdom and mercy demanded that we spare the woman's life. But rest assured, I will see that her ever-waking moment is filled with misery and scorn. You presume to judge me, a man of the church? I will not be cowed by your threats. The Fury guide and protect me. The Fury guide and protect me. Oh. Yeah, back up. I've just fallen to slay the fucking leader of this town. That's a big yikes. I'd even say that, hey, I was the warrior of light. I am the warrior of light. Look, we've brought them together, and we made her whole. How she smiles, how her eyes sparkle, how beautiful this happiness. Every night, I dreamed of your face. I could have tried to stop you from going back to the front. Could have begged and screamed and cursed, but I didn't, because I knew you had listened, and even if you'd forgive me for it one day, I never would. The arrow may have missed my heart, but I've been dead for a long time. All of this is just waiting. That's what I'd tell you, Ace, if I could, and then you'd say, you can't stay stuck in that moment, Loudy. You've got to go on. You've got to forgive yourself. You've got to let me go. But I won't. I won't. If I do, who'll be left to remember the man you were? The soldier, the husband. I'm the only one who knows, and it's my duty to hold on to that as long as I can. That's what I'd tell him if he was here, but he's not. He'll never come home to me, so please put an end to this, whatever this witchcraft is. Miyazaki, was this all your doing? No, it was mine. Forgive me. I thought that I only wanted to. I was wrong. I see that now. You have every right to be upset. It's alright, boy. It is. I appreciate your kindness, even if it was misguided. You too, Teru. I blamed you for a lot of things. Hated you so much because I don't know. Because you came back and Stace didn't. Maybe. Because you weren't him. They say the war's over now, but it never ends for people like you, does it? There's always something worth fighting for. Everything ends. There's always something. I know what you are. I heard the stories as a child. One of the ones that neither shield nor signal, champions of the weak and the helpless, undeterred by the law of man or God. I couldn't stop you any more than I could have stopped Stace from walking out the door that day. So, fight, damn you, fight. If that's what you want. Just don't squander the time in between. There's never enough. Right. I suppose I owe it to him to try to make the most of what I've got left too. So I will. Take care. Thank you. And that was pretty heavy. She's gone. Reclaim your aether, Teru. Willing a bit. Three more times. Forgive me. Forgive me. In the end, I could not make her whole. So much pain. So much loss. How it fills my heart and overflows. Maybe it is indeed beyond us. Maybe it is not in our nature. You've got 3 more chances, don't you? There's no need to be so bloody melodramatic. At least not out here. We should go back to Tailfeather. Your words did more for her than my illusion. Still, she is still a good person. And so are you. I pray you both remember. On to the next, I would say. But Mist looks to be in no state to continue. Which means we'll be staying here for a time. Taking in the fresh country air. Me and my little ones. For what it's worth, I think that woman is better for what we did. Or at least as good as anyone can be after what she's been through. Today we're gonna rest, but we're not actually. We're going straight into the next one. Level 65. Halfway there. Teru. I imagine you'd like to get back to it, and so would I. Unfortunately, Misty remains inconsolable. His failure with Loudy, such as it was, weighs on his mind. He's afraid of repeating the same mistake with others. And so, for lack of a better idea, I'm thinking it's time we pay another visit to those fairy little shites in the churning mists. But, what? But why? I can't imagine Mist helping a Moogle. My master used to take me to places like Mogholm when the city became too much. The fresh air, the quiet, the isolation. And yes, I have not forgotten how the Moogles helped Relly and me when we were moody and brooding. Though I would argue that we reconciled in spite of their intervention, not because of it. Whatever you say, Sid. Whatever you say. Don't worry, I haven't given up yet. How could I? You wouldn't. To the Moogles, yeah. Ba, 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 ba. Right then. Water under the bridge. No need for palms to be torn from heads and shoved down throats. Yet. Our Misty is taking in the sights, I believe. Won't you join him? The wind in your hair, the sun in your face. Here you can immerse yourself in the beauty and the calm, and forget the horrors, almost. How far we have come, you and I. The others, they hesitate. But you understand the obligation, the duty, the need for atonement. For what do you need to atone? We have lost so much. So many friends and loved ones. So many moments. We thought we could keep and preserve them. But we are left with anguish in the end. The time strips us of even this bit of a reminder. If we let it, but I cannot. This pain, this sadness, it is mine to bear, mine alone. This I understand now. Their grief will be mine, and in return, I will give them peace. But who, and where, when, and where? That is the question. Even we have our limits. Who did I lose? Everyone. No one. We have always been apart, have we not? Perhaps one day you will understand, and then you will share my loathing and contempt. Oh, forgive me. I have been away from the others too long. Sid will be worried. We must return to them at once. Interesting. I have no strong predictions like I did with the previous stories yet. So, or the only thing is like somehow he's gonna tie into the ability for us to get a stand. And I'm just not sure how yet. There you are. I trust Misty has had ample time to reflect upon his mistake. I have, and I am ready to resume my search for those I might help with my power. Difficult though it may be, I do not intend to give up. Glad to hear it. In that case, there's no need to remain here any longer. I say we leave this accursed place and never return. Don't be silly, Sid. I say we so miss more of the churning mists. We did come all this way, you know. Come on, there's a place I'd like to show you. Now wait a goddamn moment. You can't go running off on your own like that. You'll get eaten by a three-headed gooboo. Really? Bugger me with a bleeding. Come on. They cannot have gone far. Watch out for the belligerent Ravanians and mischievous Moogles. Alright. Boom, boom, boom. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Don't give me that look. If the little bastards didn't want their heads caved in, they shouldn't have tried to sneak up on me. Besides, they're still alive. You ought to give me credit for holding back. Anyway, I lost sight of the children. I'm not sure which way they went. I'll head north and circle back towards Asha. You head straightways there. Boom, 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 boom. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Ooh, our first instance. Proceed. You should have seen the look on Sid's face when the Moogle started singing and dancing. He was utterly speechless. Why were the Moogles singing and dancing again? It was stupid, really. But I guess you could say that Sid had become obsessed with trying to live up to his master's example, and for all the wrong reasons. He lost his family when he was younger than me. Their Ompage took care of him and Frey, but then they died too. So it's just the two of us now. He was angry and short-sighted, but now, well, he's still both those things, but not as much as before. So that's progress, I suppose. Sid's master was very dear to him, wasn't he? Oh, thank the gods. You shouldn't have run off like that. Do you wish to see him again? Your master? Huh? Where's this coming from? What has Raleigh been telling you? I mean, there's much I wish to have asked him before he passed, but... Wait, no! Don't you dare, you little shite! Oh, Sid. Charming as ever, I see. Master! And this must be Frey's successor, a worthy one, I no doubt. My name is Ompage. It is an honor and pleasure to meet you, Teru. You did well to come so far on your own before meeting Sid, and together you have both grown so much, in mind and body and soul, as Dark Knights and as true heroes. There was a time when I was hailed as a hero too, for deeds meritorious in the defense of Ishgard and in the name of the Fury. A brave and true temple knight I was, slayer of countless Dravanians, a commander beloved and respected by his men. They would follow me into the seventh hell, and indeed, that is where I led them, time and time again. They would fall, and I would earn the accolades, and then they will give me more green boys with dreams of glory. Green boys with red blood, build on white snow, again and again and again. And then one day, I couldn't remember the first one's face. I had forgotten the face of the first boy who gave his life for me. That was the day I left the Temple Knights. I know that tale by heart, but not the tale of what came after. Why a goodly man with titles and wealth, a man who could have lived out his days in quiet comfort, why that man chose instead to walk the path and to once more accept 2 children into his care. You asked me that very question long ago, and I told you that one day you would understand when you were older and wiser and stronger. Shall we put you to the proof, Sid, and see if today is the day, that day? You always were fond of your tests. Now, don't be cross. You've only yourself to blame. These are your memories, remember? Ha! But of course you do. The point is, deep down, you wanted this. And while there's no substitute for the general article, you could do a lot worse. So do me this honor, all of you. One last dance with the dead. Show me the man you've become, Sidugu of the Obsidian Heart. Three on one. Pretty unfair. Boom, 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 boom. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, I do like that he's using Evan's board music for this. Oh, once again. I'm so glad that that didn't end the fight. Magnificence. Ignisus. This is the Ray would be proud. Ray would be. Well done, Teru. Well done indeed. Frey would be proud to know that you carry on his legacy and mine. And Sid, my boy, my beloved boy, you nearly had me. Oh, spare me your sympathy, you bloody shade. I lost, and that's the end of it. You kept Riley and Teru out of harm's way, Sid. You did well. Learn to shut up and take the compliment. You asked me once why I chose to walk the path, why I chose to look after you and Frey, even though deep down you already know. But since I lost, I owe you the answer for my lips. I was angry. Angry with the Temple Knights. Angry with myself. Angry with this twisted world where good men die for nothing. I was seeking justice for my boys and forgiveness for my sins. I saved lives and punished the wicked, and for a time I was enough. That was enough. But nothing lasts forever, does it? And a man out to have a legacy. I failed my boys as a Temple Knight, but you two were my second chance. I would teach you everything I knew, everything I learned from my mistakes, so you wouldn't have to make them. I would send you out into the world to do great things, and maybe would all balance out. Well, that's all I have to say about that. You know what comes next, don't you? Though I suppose I ought to give you a word of advice before I disappear in a puff of smoke. I am your predecessor's master, after all. People like us will never know peace. Every moment brings us closer to death. Those of our enemies, our loved ones, and yes, our very own. The fear of death is what keeps most men alive. That dread, that desperation to escape the inevitable, if only for a little while longer. But we are not like most men. We have seen what awaits us beyond the abyss. We have tasted that despair and bathed in that oblivion. We have wept rivers for our dead and cursed the gods for their cruelty. That is our sword and our strength, and that is why you may one day stand above us all. May the gods have mercy on your soul. Take care, Sid. Be nicer to the girl, and try to be less of a chocobo's ass. Oh, for the love of... Boom, 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 boom. Good, good. Glad to see it all worked out in the end. As for you, Misty, I distinctly recall telling you not to do that. Forgive me. Had I known it would come to violence, Don't you start pouting. I'm annoyed, and sore all over. But it's nothing that won't heal with time. All I ask is that you promise not to do it again without warning and consent. Memories can be powerful and painful in more ways than one. That said, he was right. I've only myself to blame. If I thought I could defeat him, I would have. But I didn't think I had the chance, and so I didn't. His injuries are worse than I thought. We should hurry back to Mogholm. For a moment, I was certain he would fly into a fury. Could it be that he is grateful for the experience after all? Then it was not in vain. Tired and broken though he may be, he is nevertheless better for the pain, and in time, we too may be. There's still hope. Redemption is not beyond us. Another Western. Boom, 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 boom. Like, I wonder if they are in fact like maybe the other half of our soul gem. Kind of like how Frey was a image of us. They are part of us as well. I don't know. I'm afraid Riley is right. I'm gonna need some time to recover. I'm not fit to travel in my condition. Which means, oh gods help me. I'm gonna have to stay with these little fairies, these fairy little shits even longer. 2 more times, was it? 2 more times and we'll be finished with this boys' crusade. Not soon enough. Oh, Teru, be a dear and punch a Moogle for me, would you? Alright. Got a Blythe. Wait, no, whoops, that's Raleigh. I want... Yeah, there we go. Box. Yeah, let's punch this Moogle. For Sid. Yeah. Yeah. Get him. Get him. Although I actually do like Moogles. But this is for Sid. Alright. As you can see, Sid has yet to fully recover from his bout with Sir Opage. And there is no telling how much more time he will require. But my quest will brook no delay. If we must seek out another soul in need of succor without their assistance, then so be it. Do you agree? Sure. Then we are of one mind. Now then, where shall we begin our search? War is perhaps the greatest source of man's misery. So much death and destruction. A battlefield, perhaps. Yes, yes. The slaughter you bore witness to at Castrum Orens is precisely that of which I speak. A tragedy which tore apart the lives of every man and woman it touched. My mind is made up. That is where we must go. Ugh. If I had my way, I'd not let you out of my sight. But again, it's your soul crystal at stake. I'm only here to help you reclaim your Aether. If you think you can look after him by yourself, then by all means. As for me, I think I've finally regained enough strength to make the journey back to Ishgard. When you finish in Gabania, come and find us at Forgotten Night. Alright. Ugh. Castrum Orens, how it buzzes with life. So many brave soldiers, resolved to do their duty no matter the cost. But have no doubt there will be a cost, and it will be most high. For no man is beyond the reach of fate. Death will not be denied. This place, it weighs on me. Anywhere but here, I would search. Boom, 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 boom. Dun, 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 dun. come to share the fire. I would stand to greet you, stranger, but my legs, my eyes, the whole of me is not what it once was. Tiru, I know that name. And that voice. By Raga, you're still alive? Praise him. Praise him. Who is this man on the verge of death? Is he your friend? Nay, though I'm flattered that you would think so. This woman made medicine for me long ago, at the behest of Captain Meffred, when we were still in Quarry Mill. If I had kept it all for myself, I'd made a full recovery, but I couldn't. I had a dear friend, you see, so I made a choice. He got better, I didn't. Ended up working for the Griffin, he did. As a right-hand man, even. But like all the rest who went to the wall, he never came back. Oh, Jesus. That's heavy and tying into the story. Holy shit. There's a small thing in the story that they just pulled out of nowhere. I really like that. I really like that this is like taking snippets of the main scenario and stuff that's happened and is building on that. Really well done. Where it's like all the other job quests are all pretty insignificant to the main scenario and doesn't really acknowledge any of it. So this is cool. Good. The irony of it, that I'd be the one to outlive them all, if only for a little while. And so I sit here and await the reckoning, as I rot from the inside out, the husk of a freedom fighter I aspired to be. No, this is not the ending you deserve. I will not allow it. The man he spoke of, the one whose life he chose to save at the cost of his own. That man is proof of his nobility. If he were here... Go ahead. Summon him. Do you wish to see him again, your dear friend? Alright. Aye, more than anything. But there's no point in praying for the impossible. He died with the rest, I'm sure of it. He was the Griffin's double, and one of his top commanders besides. So I probably killed him. You're a kind boy. You are. I'm grateful for the company in these twilight hours, but there's no need to trouble yourself further. My time is nearly spent. Then spend the remainder thinking of better days, Galleon, and not dwelling on the deaths of me and mine. God strike me down. Alright? No, it can't be. This is naught more than a trick, an illusion, a lie. But even if it is a lie, hear me, Holdart. I've a favor to ask of you. One final favor for a dying fool. Return to the Reach, to Bloodstorm. Offer a prayer to our brothers there. I will, Galleon. You have my word. We should talk outside. Seems like they're more than illusions. Like they're taking a part of the soul. To Mifrid and Galleon, you were larger than life. I always wanted to meet you, and here we are. Though I reckon this doesn't really count, does it? If only I could go back and tell myself what a blind, bloody fool I was to place my trust in the Griffin. Maybe then Galleon wouldn't be dying alone. Listen, he hasn't got much time. I'll lead the way. The wilds between here and the Reach are too dangerous, as you can see. I'm unarmed, so I'll not be any good to you in a fight. Nor will I fear. We have to rely solely on you for protection. I am a tank, don't worry. I've no doubt you can keep us safe. You're the bleeding warrior of light, after all. Let us be off. That's not really thinking then. When we started that combat, I just sort of blanked out, just full on. Strong as ever, eh? Stronger even than you were that day, I reckon. They say that when the Griffin's men realized you were coming to stop them, they grew panicked and unsure. How could they take up arms against a woman hailed as the hero of Eorzea, a hero who had personally intervened in their lives for the better? Some stood their ground and died then and there for it, I imagine, while others looked the other way and tried to find some more Imperials to kill. I pray I wasn't foolish enough to try and fight you. I owed you better. Hold up, speak to me. I'm fine. Just got dizzy all of a sudden. We have to hurry. Do you hear me? We have to make it to the Reach. I made a promise to Galleon. I will not fail you, brother. It cannot be the distance. We haven't travelled far enough yet. A man's memories cannot outlive him. I told you, he hasn't got much time, and neither do I. I'll hold on as long as I can, but in the end, it's not up to me. Oh, this is kind of heartbreaking. So close, so close. Hold up! You must go on. You must make Galleon whole again. Remember, hold up. Don't you think I know that? He saved my life, and we all went and died for naught. For naught! All we ever wanted was to go home. Oh, come, ye wayward brothers, bereft of a hearth and home. Beneath yon burning star, there lies a heart for the bold. Raise up your hands and your voices. Let fill your hearts with pride. Above the churning waters we stand strong and unified. We can still go home. Even now, after everything we have done, we can still go home. Oh, he didn't make it. He fell and would not rise. He began to shake and he was so close. He could have made it. He should have made it. How cruel the gods to tempt us with this promise of redemption. We did not fail. They failed us. They failed us. Forgive me. Forgive me. My failure is my own. I had my chance and I squandered it. Reclaim that which was yours. It is not finished. Not yet. You will come and pray with me. Sure. I sort of expected this would be how it ended. With us praying in his stead. Oh. Oh. What good are prayers to the dead? They have not ears to listen, nor eyes to see, or hearts to console. Naught remains of them save fleeting recollections soon lost to time and to the abyss. We are left only with pain, a lingering sadness for names and faces consigned to oblivion. How are we to withstand this relentless onslaught which threatens to consume us? Is there no truth to but this, that all men must die? Is this our world to suffer or to shape? This is God's design. The world is what we make of it. I by my sword, that is my truth. Indeed. But indeed, we are only bound by the God's law by choice. We cannot save everyone, can we? Sometimes it is all we can do to save ourselves. Does any of it matter? What, if aught, have we wrought by our own hands? One last time, I give you my word, and I mean to keep it. But know this, every intervention has come at a cost, a sacrifice. When I have finished, naught will remain of me. But it does not have to be. For all of our faults, for all of our failures, we have made a difference. All the lives we have shattered, we can make them come together again. Time and death are true enemies. Need hold no power over us. I can make a place for you in my world. You need only ask. What? We should go back to Ishgard. You must miss Sid and Riley. What? I didn't really catch this half of that. All I got is that he's gonna disappear. Which I kinda was sort of guessing with like how he was a part of us, and the way he said at the end there, like he was talking about how I could be a part of his world, was weird phrasing. Which again, this, that sort of. Hey, he is the other half of the soul crystal. That's what I think it is. That they are the other half of the soul crystal. Tiru, I pray your trip to Gurbania was productive. I'm sorry to hear that. I mean, I'm glad you reclaimed more of your aether. I but wish the circumstances hadn't been so depressing. For Mist's sake. We shall have to see how he is feeling when he returns. No, as far as I'm aware, he has yet to return to Ishgard. He certainly isn't here, as you can see. Oh, gods damn it! Don't tell me he decided to run away. And just when I was beginning to trust the little bastard. No. I could still be wrong. He's earned a little trust. A few days' worth, no more. Blackest night creates a barrier around south of Parliament verbs or front dark art. Barrier is absorbed because that. Okay, so get blackest night, but you don't get the shadow. So maybe so I guess I was wrong. I never looked at the skill tree, so I don't know what level you get the shadow at. I guess there was a Shadowbringer's add-on ability. Yeah, alright. Gods damn it, Misty. We're going to have to track him down and make him return the remainder of the aether he stole from you, aren't we? He said that when this was finished, naught would remain of him. Bloody vague and ominous, to say the least. We'll just have to press him for answers when we find him. You last saw him at Raga's Reach in Gurbania, yes? We'll start there. I'm going too. I won't take no for an answer. It's gotten better, but he's a long way from fully recovered. Besides, you need someone to help you do the talking. Lid's no good at it. Gather nation at Raga's Reach. Oh, I wasn't reading. I was watching some birds late the other night when I hear someone skulking about behind me. Forgive me, I hear him saying, before he runs off and disappears into the dark. Then I realize it's been quiet. Too quiet, eh? Sleeping birds make noise, and mine ain't. 'Cause they're dead, every last one of them. No wounds or any other obvious marks. But there they lay, like the life was sucked right out of them. I don't know how or why he did it, but there's no denying that he did. I demand recompense. If you find him, you bring him to me. Jesus. Jesus, okay. Ah yes, I remember the long-haired boy. Very curious, with many questions about the nature of aether. He conversed with one of the other conjurers for a time. I know not what they discuss. From his expression, I gathered it was important. Looking for a young boy with long blue hair, you say? Reckon I would have remembered someone like that if they came this way, and I don't. Spoke with the fella before me during the changing of the guard. As we do, he made no mention of anyone matching that description either. So he's probably still around here somewhere. Try to fly. Our inspector returns. Tell us, have you learned aught of Misty's whereabouts? Seen conversing with a conjurer and possibly killing chocobos? Not sure what to make of that, though we can be sure he stayed here for a time, but perhaps no longer. We learned but moments ago from Gilo here that a boy matching Misty's description was seen leaving the Reach. He is for the peaks, and so are we. Bum, 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 bum. No visible injuries, no bleeding. Aye, it is as really says, these beasts died from no discernible reason. Just like the chocobos that man in the Reach claims Misty somehow killed. But it doesn't add up. Other than his singular magic, Misty was utterly helpless. Unless, was he always capable of this? But we know the answer already. He stole your aether when we first met. Even if he could do it, even if he did do it, why? We'll ask him when we find him, and this time you'll let me do the talking. Search the east. Raleigh and I will head south. We'll meet in between if we find naught, and if we do, either you come to our aid or we to yours. Alright. As you survey your surroundings, you observe naught out of the ordinary. But on the edge of hearing, you hear a whisper to the southwest. Oh my god, he brought her mother back? What the fuck were you thinking? Charlie. Sid. This is... You idiot! You fool! What the fuck? The fuck is this? Why? Why? I'm starting to lose my voice a little. Why? Oh, god damn. Seven hells. I hate being right. On your guard. Misty has shown his true colors. The aether, whatever else he took from this beast, has given him tremendous strength. Contrary to his earlier warnings, conjuring another similar crime wasn't the end of him. and all the wonderful people he had to pluck from our memories, he chose Yestrade de Crolant. He knows why we're here, and this is his answer. He summoned the monster that haunts Raleigh in her dreams and sends her screaming from her bed. Forgive me, Sid, but you gave me no choice. Say your name, your real name. Shall I ask you the same? Who holds the reins? Though it matters not. We are complicit, you and I. Can you even remember why you came here? Can you even remember how many you killed? How many lives shattered? How many stories ended? Upon the surface of the crystal are carved the sins of the dark nights past, and yours are beyond counting, beyond fathoming, without end. Justice an excuse, nobility is a lie, murder is murder. And though we are most definitely not without fault, it is this cruel, indifferent world which has made murderers of us all. But we need suffer no longer. I sought to make these broken souls whole, one by one, when in truth the solution was much more simple. A world beyond pain and suffering and anguish and despair, a world beyond death, a world in which we never need bid farewell to our dearest friends. And how many beasts will you need to kill to make this world of yours? How much aether will you consume to see it through? Bloody self-righteous sophistry from a mellowing whelp. So your brilliant plan is to fill the world with similar cry of the dead, is it? And somehow that's supposed to make everyone happy? Well, you're right about one thing, I'll grant you that. This world is brutal, uncaring, without logic or justice. No justice, but that which we make up for ourselves. And I'll be damned if I give it up so you can force your illusions upon us to assuage your guilt. Did you not find comfort in your reunion with your master, even though you knew it was a lie? Did it not help you to unburden your soul, to find measure of peace in this madness? I am not your enemy, not then or now. I will not fight you. All I ask is that you leave me to do my duty. It's never too late to turn back. You are still a good person. You can still be a good person. So, this is your answer. Maybe you cannot accept what needs to be done, but I can. Goodbye. So I'm fighting her again. That was really easy. That was so easy. Oh my god. Floppy. Olivia and Man on Hill. Man on Hill. So many broken by this world. And then by you. So many. Woe betide the man who stands opposed to the weapon of light. For death will be his reward. Death for him and his kin, and all that he holds dear. Woe betide the man who stands with the weapon of light, for death will be his reward. Death for him and his kin, and all that he holds dear. Like sands through the hourglass, everything we fight so desperately to protect slips through our fingers, and what remains is us, only us, and the memory of our sin. To walk this path is to suffer, to sacrifice. I have this raid. Just listen to my voice. Justice demands no less. Serve, save, slave, slay. I've sins aplenty, aye, but regrets not so much. And if she wouldn't listen to me, the embodiment of good sense and pragmatism, then what hope could you possibly have? A house divided cannot stand. You know, this childish rebellion ends now. What in the seven hells is this? A compromise, I suppose. Our dear friend here refused to let me take the reins. But I wasn't about to stand idly by while that imbecile tries to do whatever it was he was trying to do. No hard feelings about it, White Brim, eh? Promise not to stab you in the back. It'll just be like old times. A dark knight needs a sword. Take mine. No, no, this is wrong. This is all wrong. I offer you peace, restitution, a chance to make amends. Do not think you are above it. Do not think that a reckoning will be postponed indefinitely. Oh, Warriors of Darkness and Heaven's Ward. When it comes, I shall welcome it with open arms. But today will not be the day, and you will not be the judge. June. Well, that wasn't the ability I was meant to do. I can't even do the one I meant to do. Oh, it's Adva. Story of darkness. Oh yeah, but you're not part of me yet in this timeline. Only Freya's. Wait until the next expansion. Hashtag spoiler. Claim the last of your Aether. Oh, right. Soul Eater. That makes sense. Duty complete. Well, that was pretty cool. Bray coming back into the scene. Forgive me, I ask, I beg, I pray, but it never comes. Again, they go to join the multitude in the black oblivion of the abyss. Such is our lot. Such is the fate of all who are born to suffer and to die. Do not seek forgiveness, for it will not ease the burden. It weighs as it should. But what of the lost? Do they not deserve to live again? They do. Oh, they do. In our hearts, and our souls, and our memories. No one likes having to say goodbye, but it's a part of life. And that's what makes the time we share together so precious. You can't obsess over the mistakes of the past, or you lose sight of the future, of the people still with us, who need us more than ever. The greatest strength is born of the flame in the abyss. Got that pose. Just strike a pose. Listen to my voice. Listen to our heartbeat. Listen. I forgive you. I forgive you. I forgive you. Thank you. That is all I ever wanted. So, this is it. One last parting. One final farewell. after a fashion. In your darkest hour, in the blackest night, think of me, and I will be with you, always. But where else could I go? Who else could I love but you? Yeah, I knew he was a part of me, but what part? I'm not sure. I think it's nice to leave it somewhat up to interpretation, I suppose. It was... Dun, 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 dun. Boom, 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 boom. Dun, dun, dun. Oh yeah, the Dark Knight. You'll forgive us for returning to Ishgard ahead of you, I hope. I needed some time to think on everything that happened in Gabania. I won't pretend to know everything you've been through in your life. A man can never truly understand what's in another's heart, and probably not their own for that matter. I'm pretty much rambling at this point, but I suppose what I'm trying to say is that I'm grateful for everything you've done for me and Raleigh. I like you, I respect you, and I'll always be here for you if you need me. We're fellow walkers of the path after all, and friends, I'd like to think. I've been wondering, Misty appeared at the same time the soul crystal cracked, yes, but which happened first? And why then and there? Damned if I know. Does anyone truly understand how soul crystals work? What matters is the crystal and Teru have been made whole. That said, a heart bleeds, a man weeps, a soul burns, thence comes the darkness to consume. And few hearts have bled as much as hers. Speaking of bleeding, I think your wounds have reopened. If you would sit, it would be much easier for me to tend to them. You should get some rest too, Teru. Not all the wounds are so obvious. Out of the mouths of babes and sucklings. Praise Halone, she's right, though. No need to overdo it by running off to the next battle just yet. If you must put one foot in front of the other, though, why don't you go back to where this whole damn mess began? Maybe you'll have an epiphany. Wait, what? For that, where this story began. I thought for a moment it would be that going back to where I met Frey. That's why there was the level 72 Dark Knight here, because he was doing the end of the quest. It's come full circle, where it all began. What troubles you, Mistress Murasaki? Ah, Lord. But of course, 'tis a bitterly cold this day. It times like this, one should be warming themselves by the fire. This looks like a really sunny day. Not a day goes by without your name being spoken, you know. The soldiers and merchants often bring us news of their latest exploits. That said, to hear it from the hero herself will be much preferable. But there would be no expectation were you to call on us. The pleasure of your company alone would be more than enough. Rare though, I expect it will be in days to come. But your destiny was never to remain here, was it? Though a part of me wishes that you would. Forgive me. I find myself growing more and more sentimental in my old age. And in working on my memoirs, I have had to reflect on the darker chapters of my life. Horsefont. Don't tell me the kid was Horsefont this whole time. That Misty was Horsefont. He shares the same hair color and race. Lived his to the fullest, and if his story is preserved for generations to come, then I should be glad of it. You will always have a place here, Teru, for you are family. Now go, do not let me keep you from your labors. The world waits for none, not even you. Perhaps it was they're still leaving it open, so that's cool. From the depths of the abyss. I hear a whisper. So all that's left now is the bonus story at level 80 for Dark Knight. Which, when I get to the level 80, yeah, I'll probably stream it. But with that concludes our stream. So like usual, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed watching me play through this. This one's ended up being a bit longer than the other parts, but here we are, completed all the Stormblood ones. Oh, that was good. I see why a lot of people really like the Dark Knight quests and say it's like the best job quest. It's definitely up there. Personally, I still like the ninja more. The ninja one, oh, so good, so good. I might at some stage replay through it all in New Game Plus. But this is a close second, I'd say. So yeah, like usual, thank you to those that tuned in and watching this on the archive. Hope you've enjoyed watching me play through this, and until next time, bye bye.